On Tuesday, 21st of May 2024, the Indian stock markets cleared another huge milestone. For the first time, the total market value of all listed companies on the Bombay Stock Exchange raced past the $5 trillion mark. With this, India became the fifth country in the world to have accomplished this feat, only after US, China, Japan and Hong Kong. It took India 17 years from the time its stock markets crossed $1 trillion market cap mark way back in May of 2007. While it has taken 10 years for the Indian stock markets to go from $1 trillion to $2 trillion, going up from 4 to 5 took just 6 months. This is the fastest pace of wealth creation for any market anywhere in the world. What do these numbers say about the Indian markets? Let's take a look. Well, Indian market capitalization to GDP ratio stands at 154%. Anything above 90% puts a market in the overvalued category. An overvalued market signifies the strength of confidence among investors in the stock markets. For the US markets, which are over 11 times Indian markets, this value stands at 185.5%. For Japan, it's 146.6%. So investor confidence is in fact high in the Indian markets. How difficult was the journey? Well, the last mile has been achieved despite pressures of heightened interest rates in the US that have been enticing foreign institutional investors away from the Indian bourses, rising oil prices and a generally unfavorable geopolitical environment. Picture this. For the first month of May of 2024, FIIs have pulled out close to 38,000 crores from the Indian stock markets. They had removed 35,000 crores in April and another 36,000 crores in January this year. In all, foreign institutional investors sold equities worth 1.2 lakh crore rupees in the year 2024. Where did this money come from? Well, the foreign institutional investors were busy pulling out money. Domestic institutional investors pumped in 1.9 lakh crore rupees into the Indian stock markets in 2024. Now, where did the investors put their money? What were the stocks, or were the stocks really driving investor confidence? Let's take a look. This landmark was crossed with most of the heavy lifting being range bound within the broader markets. Simply put, the heavy lifting was done by big players in the markets like those in the Nifty 50. In particularly the PSU stocks, which have been the key drivers for Indian markets. With over last 1 year, BSE PSU index witnessing a growth of over 100%. The BSE Sensex rose only around 20% during the same time. In the last 5 years itself, BSE PSU index has surged over 170%, almost double the growth rate of the Sensex at 90%. Mega listing like that of LIC also added a mammoth $78 billion to the total market cap figures on its own. Now, India boasts of over 100 stocks with a market cap of over $10 billion. China, whose market cap is almost twice as that of India, has around 130. The Indian economy has been on a path of increased growth over the last few years. The stock markets have been more than bolstered in their confidence. But there's also a word of caution. SEBI has raised concerns of froth in the mid-cap and the small-cap segments of the market. Over the last 1 year, the number of stocks with a price-to-earning ratio of over 50x have gone up from 41 to 104, with those of over 100 have gone up from 3 to 9. Vaulting confidence or unrealistic valuations? It could be either. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has voiced her concerns about individual and first-time investors playing in the futures and options markets. Let's listen in.
Any unchecked explosion in retail trading of futures and options can create future challenges, not just for the markets, for the investor sentiment, and also for household finances. Household finances have made a generational shift, which I just explained. We want to safeguard that. We want to ensure that that's not going to be shattered.
But if Prime Minister Modi's confidence is anything to go by, the election results would only render a huge boost to the Indian stock markets. We'll of course keep getting you all those details here on News 9 Live.